He walked up the narrow path to the top of the hill and stepped into the big shop. His wooden eyes widened at the size of everything. The stool was as tall as he was. He had to stretch on his tiptoes to see the top of the workbench. The hammer was as long as his arm. Punchinello swallowed. Gulp. I'm not staying here. And he turned to leave. Then he heard his name. From the time we're little kids, we always feel like we have to fit in. We always listen to what people say, and it's always a fight for popularity, for acceptance, and for love. This story today is called You Are Special, and the message in it is that what people think of you doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what God thinks of you. And I hope that by the end of this, you guys, I'm preaching to the choir here, but we'll be reminded that what people think of you doesn't necessarily matter. What God thinks is what matters. The Wemmicks were small wooden people. All of the wooden people were carved by the same woodworker named Eli. His village sat on the hill, overlooking. Each Wemmick was different. Some had big noses, some had large eyes, some were tall, others were short. Some wore hats, others wore coats. But all were made by the same carver and lived in the same village. All day, every day, the Wemmicks did the same thing. They gave each other stickers. Each Wemmick had a box of golden star stickers and a box of gray dot stickers. Up and down the streets all over the city, they spent their days sticking dots and stars on one another. The pretty ones, with smooth wood and fair paint, always got stars. But if their wood was rough or it was chipped, the Wemmicks gave dots. The talented ones got stars too. Some could lift big sticks high above their heads, and others could jump over huge boxes. Still, others knew big words and could sing pretty songs. They always got stars. Some Wemmicks had stars all over them. Every time they got a star, it made them feel so good. It made them want to do something else to get another star. Others, though, could do little. They got dots. Punchinello was one of these. He always tried to jump high like the others, but always fell. And when he fell, the others would gather around him and give him gray dots. Sometimes when he would fall, his wood would get scratched. So some people would give him more dots. Then, when he would try to explain why he fell, he would say something silly, and the Wemmicks would give him even more dots. After a while, he had so many dots he didn't want to go outside. He was afraid he would do something dumb, as forget his hat or step in water and get another dot. In fact, he had so many gray dots that some people would just come up and give him a gray dot for no reason. He deserves lots of dots, the wooden people would agree with one another. He's not a good wooden person. After a while, Punchinello believed them. I'm not a good Wemmick, he would say. A few times, when he'd go outside, he hung around with other Wemmicks who had lots of dots. He felt better around them. One day, though, he met a Wemmick who was unlike any he had ever met. She had no dots or stars. She was just wooden. Her name was Lucia. It wasn't that people didn't try and give her stickers. It's just that the stickers didn't stick. Some of the Wemmicks admired Lucia for not having any dots, so they would run up and give her stars. But it would fall off. Others would look down on her for not having any stars, so they would go up and give her a dot. But it wouldn't stick either. That's the way I want to be, thought Punchinello. I don't want anyone's marks. So he asked the stickerless Wemmick how she did it. It's easy, Lucia replied. Every day I go see Eli. Eli? Yes, Eli, the wood carver. I sit in the workshop with him. Why? Why don't you find out for yourself? Go up to the hill. He's there. And with that, the Wemmick, who had no stickers, turned and skipped away. But will they want to see me? Punchinello cried out. Lucia didn't hear, so Punchinello went home. He sat near a window and watched the wooden people as they scurried around, giving each other stars and dots. It's just not right, he muttered to himself. And so, he decided to go see Eli. He walked up the narrow path to the top of the hill and stepped into the big shop. His wooden eyes widened at the size of everything. The stool was as tall as he was. He had to stretch on his tiptoes to see the top of the workbench. The hammer was as long as his arm. Punchinello swallowed hard. Gulp. I'm not staying here. And he turned to leave. Then he heard his name. Punchinello? The voice was deep and strong. Punchinello stopped. Punchinello, how good to see you. Come, let me have a look at you. Punchinello turned slowly and looked at the large bearded craftsman. You know my name? The little Wemmick asked. Of course I do. I made you. Eli stooped down and picked him up and sat him on the bench. The maker spoke thoughtfully as he looked at the gray dots. Looks like you've been given some bad marks. I didn't mean to, Eli. I really tried hard. Oh, you don't have to defend yourself to me, child. I don't care what the other Wemmicks think. You don't? No, and you shouldn't either. Who are they to give stars and dots? They are Wemmicks just like you. What they think doesn't matter, Punchinello. The only thing that matters is what I think. And I think you're pretty special. Punchinello laughed. Ha! Me? Special? I can't walk fast. I can't jump. My paint is peeling. Why do you care about me? Eli looked at Punchinello. He put his hands on those small wooden shoulders and spoke very slowly. Because you're mine. That's why you're special to me. Punchinello had never had anyone look at him like this, much less his maker. He didn't know what to say. Every day I've been hoping you'd come, Eli explained. I came because I met someone who has no marks, said Punchinello. I know. She told me about you. Why don't the stickers stick to her? The maker spoke softly. Because she has decided that what I think is more important than what they think. The stickers only stick if you let them. What? The stickers only stick if they matter to you. The more you trust my love, the less the stickers will matter. I'm not sure I understand. Eli smiled. You will, but it will take time. You've got a lot of marks. For now, just come see me every day and let me remind you how much I love you. Eli lifted Punchinello off the bench and sat him on the ground. Remember, Eli said to the Wemmick walking out the door, you are special because I made you, and I don't make mistakes. Punchinello didn't stop, but in his heart he thought, I think he really means it. And with that, a gray dot fell to the ground.